My name is Yvonne Caleb. I was born in Savannah, Georgia, 1938. My mother was teaching in Savannah, so my grandmother took my brother and I stayed with my grandmother until after her death. I went to high school in Savannah. That's where I met Joe. So he asked me what my name was, and he was a senior, so he could go off campus. So I wanted a hot dog, so he got me a hot dog. And then we started talking after that at lunch break. Then finally we moved to Miami. When we first came, we stayed, it was a cousin of his, and he was working on the dock, but he never liked for me to work, and that was a no-no. Because he said, you need to stay in the house and take care of your children. We got married in Miami because he had some problems in Savannah. So he left, his cousin came up there. His cousin worked on the dock and came and got us. And then we got married here in Miami. Well, we stayed in an apartment with the cousin. Then later, we got an apartment of our own. And then I had my first child, was a boy. Then later I had my second child was a boy. And my third was a girl, and my fourth was a girl. Well, I think when he started doing construction work, he was seeing how it was going, and then some of the guys asked, to run for president. And so he told me he was going to run for president. They had a meeting, and they voted him as the president. He came home and told me he was the president of Local 478. And I said, well, you're not going to be doing construction work now. He said, nope, I'll be going on the jobs, though. But I do know he go on jobs, make sure that the workers are treated right and the right pay and stuff. Now that part I do know. If any of them came here or come to the union hall to complain about something, he always went and took care of it. Some of the guys would come by, and they talked, but he would always go outside when we was in the apartment. And then when we moved in the house, they would come in, and I would go in another room with the children. So I really don't know what was, really going on. One thing I remember him saying, if anything ever happened, he said, anything ever happened to me, I hope it's not at home around you and the children. So I guess in a sense he was telling me it was dangerous, but I didn't realize it was dangerous for him to be president of the Local 478. But now when I look back, it was dangerous. But at that time, I didn't realize it. I was home here. I was asleep in the bed. Sunday night, it was two detectives at the door, and they told me somebody had shot him several times. And I remember I started running. I don't know where I'm going. I started running. I went to the garage door, and one of the detectives told me, calm down. He come and sit down. So we said, and I said, well, who did it? They told me they didn't know. So I said, you sure it was Joe? He said, yes. So one of them said he had $700 in his sock. Then I knew that was him because like his bill money, like dollar bills and all, he always put it in his sock. I don't know why, but that's what he did. So they told me that he had $700 in his sock. Then I said, well, that's Joe. They stayed there a little while with me and the children.
Well, we trying to adjust to doing without Joe. It hasn't been easy, but I think we'll be able to make it.
What about the life other than remembrance of Joe? What have you been doing with your life personally?
Well, I haven't been doing not that much. The only thing I'm in school at Dayton downtown. I made one semester and I'm starting on another one now.
What subjects are you taking?
English, math, and biology.
What are you major?
Business administration.
Oh, you want to be a big business lady, huh?
I hope so one day.
My name is Stanley Caleb, and my mom is Yvonne Caleb. Well, I was one time in the Local 478, and then we merged and they changed the Local 1652. So I stayed in it for 17 years. I retired. Now I work for the teachers union. Over the last, I've been doing this about 18 years now, researching my dad. Because, you know, it had people all the time coming to me asking me about the Caleb Center. Why the name after him, you know, this and that. So I called myself doing a little research to find out for myself what it was all about. But I know when I first started off asking questions about, I never forget I had a friend of the family, a reporter by the name of Behind, say, you know, be careful now, it's still kind of dangerous. Looking into it. When he first started the union, I think they had like 300 members. My dad grew it up to 6,000. They were the second largest union in North America. And 80% were black, 10% was white, and 5% was Latin. They had a lot of power, especially in their county. Even when it come to voting, like my mom would say, that he encouraged people to get out there and vote. That's another thing that he influenced in voting. Like I say, he was Gwen Cherry campaign manager, and she was the first black woman to win House of Representatives. Yeah, I believe so. Yep. He even ran his campaign for Model City program, and as he would say, if you don't vote, who will vote? That is a good question to ask. A lot of times we depend on our neighbors, our friends to go vote. We don't get off our butt to go out there and vote. That's one thing he really instilled people to do, to vote. Get out there and vote, make your voice heard, make your vote count. It might don't look your way, but maybe next time, but get out there and vote. A major impact on the black community. And then the black community had somebody that they know they can come and see. You catch them at that hall. If you had a problem that was going on in there, and like I said, you catch him at that union hall. He'll fight for you. I used to read a lot of that kind of mention of him in the newspaper article. So if you convince him they're gonna help black people out, he gonna be there. The longshoremen and the laborers got together and marched down the Justice Building pertaining to police brutality, concerning police brutality, beating of Jimmy Robinson. Thing happened, that got beat up or something like that, allegedly beaten up, and he called a hall. And the secretary put my dad on the phone. He found out what was going on. That when he called a longshoreman, I think a guy named Cleve Turner at the time. And the funny thing, he told Cleve, shut the dock down for a week. Cleve said, man, I can't do that, Joe. I'll give you 1 day. So all of them got together and got buses, bus down to the Justice Building. Now, the newspaper said it was only 1,000. The international, the labor say it was 1,500. Then I have another article say it was about 2,000. 2,000 show up. They caught them off guard. During that time, the civil rights movement, anytime a black man come along, we try to make life better for not just himself, his people. Now, he was a selfish person and just thought of him, thought of us, the family here, he'd probably still here be today. But he wasn't that type of man. He wanted to make life better for everybody, and they didn't like that, Do you think they like when a man come out there and shut a job down because one worker had a problem? No, they didn't like that at all, And he was the kind, he didn't kid up to him. He didn't play. But yeah, I believe him being at a union and the work he was doing with Model City and the direction he was taking, yeah, cost him a lot, cost him his life, yeah.